nightmare.
What?
Skype is a real nightmare for me.
Why?
I don't know. I have to work very, very hard to get it on my, because on my PC or my laptop, I couldn't do it. I tried many forms and something is wrong because it's not. I can do a match with my computer, I guess.
Yes. But finally, you were able to do
Yeah.
it or not? You are in your
Yeah.
computer.
No, I'm using my tablet.
Ah, you are in your tablet right now. Okay, good. And can you see the presentation in this moment?
Yes.
Ah, okay. What about you, Vilma?
Oh, the presentation? I can see it.
You can see it. You are able to
Yes,
see it.
yes.
Okay, okay. And what about you, Sandra?
The presentation, I can see.
Okay. Okay. So right now in this moment, I am going to explain different forms about. Just give me a second. 1 second. Okay. So in this case, hello? You can you can do you can say whatever you want. Okay, you are free to use all your ideas over there, right?
Okay.
But you have to be careful and you have to use the vocabulary that is
On
related
the
there.
unit. Okay. And we have to do an essay.
What?
To do an essay too.
An essay.
Essay. Yeah. Sorry.
Ah,
Essay.
well, according to the
The rubric.
yes, according to the rubric and according to the different guidelines that are over there, what you need is uh, I'm going to I'm going to tell you. Okay, in the rubrics, what you have to take into consideration is that you have to include an introduction, right? And there you have to establish what your topic is important and everything like that, right? If you can present background about the information that you're about to you're about to present, that will be good. It says that you have to take at least 2 minutes for the introduction, okay? And
Yeah.
then you have the body where you are going to explain everything. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so that's what you have to do. You have to
Okay.
present. Then the body has to be between 4 and 6 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Finally, you have to make a conclusion, which you have to summarize all the main points of your presentation. Okay, and that's gonna be like 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, so it is supposed to be that you speak 10 minutes, and that's it. Okay, 10 minutes. You have to go around 10 minutes. It would be more appropriate if you go, if you measure yourself around 10 minutes or a little more, right? But not less. And then,
Okay.
and that's it. You don't have to present any essay or something. You just have to take into consideration all those different things, and that's it. Okay, it will be good if you use different resources for your presentation. Okay. And Sandra was asking me if she could use a PowerPoint presentation, and I said, yeah, no problem.
Okay, nice.
Yes, you just bring it there, and you can use my computer or something, and then we can see your presentation over there, right? So no problem about that. All right.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know if anybody else has another question about the oral presentation, because you have to keep in mind that you have all those different things that you have to do, right? The introduction, then the main part, and then the conclusion. Okay? You have to be very careful about that. That's going to be taken into consideration. All right? In the topic, I don't know, Vilma, have you seen your topic?
What?
Have you seen your topic?
If I have my topic, yes, I can see.
Do you have any question about your topic? Is it clear?
Yes. I have listened. We can do a presentation in the PowerPoint.
If you want. That's it. If you want, Vilma. If you want to use, I don't know, a chart, you want to use paper, you want to use other resources, it's okay. No problem. Okay? That's up to you. It's up to you. All right?
Okay.
What about your topic? Do you have any questions about your topic? It's clear.
But the topic for me is clear. The problem is to find information. It's only I must practice.
Yeah, that's something that I recommend. You practice, and you practice. Yeah. In this case.
I have. I listen much noisy.
I don't know if Joanna, are you there?
Yeah.
Can you disconnect your phone? Do you know how to do it? Your microphone. Can you disconnect your microphone? You just click in the.
Okay.
Just disconnect it. Okay, that's it. Very good. Okay. Now, Vilma, do you have a question?
I have other doubt.
Tell me.
Yes. If in the presentation, I can use to target or how do you hello?
Hello?
Okay, how do you say features for to read in the presentation? I cannot use it.
What do you mean? I don't understand. What do you want to use? I got it. Yeah, you mean like different notes for you to remind you about different points. Vilma, you can use notes. No problem. Yes, just remember they have to be notes, okay? You don't have to read. That's an important thing to keep in mind. Notes are only for important points, okay? Anyway, if you are going to use a PowerPoint presentation or you're going to use a chart, I don't know, you can put the notes there. But if you want to use hand notes for you, okay, it's all right, no problem. Okay.
Okay, but I don't I must not read only presentation. This is the unit recommendation, not read.
Yeah, I mean
Only explain.
that notes. I mean, you can read a couple of notes just to remind you about what you have to talk about, what you have to present. But if you are going to be reading a lot, that's going to be. Well, I'm about to show you the different criteria that is over there. Okay, I'm going to show you the criteria. Just I want to say hello to Laura. Hello, Laura. How are you?
Hello, teacher. How are you? I'm fine.
Okay.
Excuse me, I'm late.
Don't worry. We are talking about the different topics that have been assigned for the oral evaluation. I don't know. Can you see the presentation in this moment? Are you able to see?
Yes.
Okay.
I see.
Have you checked your topic?
Yes, my topic is what are something we can do to protect our identity online.
Okay. Now, do you have any question about that?
But the question is the same the last student. I use a PowerPoint or the chart in the presentation.
As you wish. You can use charts, you can use cardboard, whatever you want, okay? If you want to use a PowerPoint presentation, it's okay. You can use it, okay? All right?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, all right. Now, have you checked the different parts that the presentation must have?
Yes, I check.
Okay. The introduction, the body of the presentation, and the conclusion. Okay, that's it. Okay, you have to keep in mind that, and you have to take into consideration the time for each different part. Okay. Now, if none of you have another question for the different topic that have been assigned, I'm going to show you the oral presentation criteria. This is what you are going to be evaluated, right? This is the different things. I don't know if you are able to see that in your machines, in your tablet or computers. And this is the criteria for example, the first criteria is about what? Sandra, can you see that? Are you there, Sandra?
Yes, I can see,
What is the first aspect?
but
The first criteria?
overall impression.
Yeah, next to that, what does it say? Next to
Superior.
delivery.
Superior.
Delivery.
Delivery.
Yeah, delivery is the way that you deliver the presentation. The way that you present what you are about to say. Okay, that's overall impression. That's why it's overall impression. And then you have different criteria to measure that delivery. We have the superior, okay, which is enthusiastic, but comprehensible, can be heard by all, interest to the audience. Okay, that means the way that you are going to present it, right? You have to go with motivation to present that. Okay, and then you have good, which is moderately enthusiastic, comprehensible, generally can be heard, and moderately interesting. Okay, and then you have fair, which you have some problems with comprehensibility, cannot be heard. This is very careful. You have to be very careful with this, because that means that you have to be very you have to enunciate your words, okay, so everybody can understand. You don't have to go very quiet. You have to be, that's why you have to enunciate what you are going to say, right? And then you have weak, which is no interest in presentation, barely, or incomprehensible. Okay, nobody understands what you are saying. Okay, I know that you are not gonna go through the fair or weak. Okay, all of you are going to go to superior. Okay, now in the second criteria, what is the second criteria? Joanna, are you there?
Yes, I'm listening.
What is the second criteria, Joanna?
Fluency.
Fluency. What is fluency?
I don't know. Maybe I don't make pauses on the activity.
That's it. That's very good, because if you can check over there where it says if it is superior, it means that you get the idea across fully with little hesitation, goes beyond the minimum, and communicate with ease overall. That means that you don't hesitate very much. Hesitate means when you go like, and then you're hesitating too much and you don't say many words. Okay, then that's fluency, the way that you speak. It's not a matter of that you speak slow. That's not the problem.
Yeah.
You can speak slow. That's not a problem. The problem is when you don't say anything and you just stay for some time without saying anything, or it takes for you to say different words. Okay, that's the problem with fluency. Okay, you can speak slow, but if you keep it flow, okay, then no problem. Okay, that's the thing about fluency. Now, Vilma, you there?
Teacher, I have a question.
Tell me.
I cannot memorize my topic, and you can you give me some tips? But I cannot memorize.
listen, Sandra, it is impossible to memorize a 10-minute speech. And unless you're a genius, you can memorize that. My recommendation is that you take some notes, important notes or points, so you can remember what to talk about. Okay? You have to practice, Sandra. That's something very important. Practicing. And that means you read one line, and then from one line you can speak a lot of different information, right? With one line you can speak, but you have to practice how to do it. Okay? You have to practice. You have to go in front of the mirror, in front of the, you know what, that's a very good technique for you to practice your speech. The speech techniques are they go well if you go in front of the mirror and you begin practicing about what you are saying. So go ahead, do it. Okay? Practice and keep practicing all the time, trying to remember what you have to speak, what you have to present. It is very difficult to it's very difficult to trying to memorize everything. What you have to do is trying to get one sentence and then explain that sentence with your own words. Okay, you have to express it with your own words, trying to get the correct words to express. But the more you practice, the better you get. All right?
Right.
Okay. Now, Vilma, look at the next criteria. Can you see the next criteria? Vilma, I guess Vilma is not there anymore. But Laura.
Correctness.
Correctness. Okay. What is the meaning of that? Correctness. What do you think?
I use a correct structure.
That's correct. Very good. Okay, it says expression is as grammatically accurate as can be reasonably expected for this level. Okay, that means what? Okay, try to use the vocabulary that we have been using, the grammar that it is expected for you to use in the in these topics. Okay, that's important, and that's it. Okay, as long as you use the different structures that are recommended for you to present it, it's okay. Sometimes it is sometimes this is what happens. You just want to go and look for very complicated words for you to express what you want to say, because you want to say it exactly as you're thinking in Spanish, and that's a big mistake. Okay, sometimes we want to look for those words in Spanish and we want to tell them in English, and that's very hard sometimes. So keep it simple. Okay, try to say what you want to say with the knowledge that you have, with the vocabulary that you manage. Okay, that's what you have to do. Try to express yourself as you can. Right? Don't try to go and look for very complex words or technical words for you to express something. Okay, that's what you have to do. All right. Then the next criteria. Check the next criteria. The next criteria is about pronunciation.
Pronunciation.
Let me check pronunciation. And in pronunciation, we have let me check. In pronunciation, well, for example, the superior is pronunciation is accurate throughout with good written and intonation for this level. Okay. For good is accent is more foreign than the rated 15, but errors are rare. Okay. So pronunciation, you have to take into consideration. For example, if you are gonna use some words, some specific words for you to present that vocabulary, you have to know how to pronounce it. Okay, look for the pronunciation, check the pronunciation before you present it in the evaluation. Okay, because sometimes we probably we are going to use one specific word, but we don't know the pronunciation. Okay, and you don't look for the pronunciation, and it's important in your presentation, right? It's a key word, it's key vocabulary. Okay, so if it is key vocabulary, my recommendation is go and look for the correct pronunciation of the word, because probably you're gonna be repeating and repeating and repeating the same word all over again, and if you are saying it in the incorrect way, that for sure is gonna discount some point in your score, right? It's going to affect your score a little bit, right? So be careful with that. If you're gonna use a specific vocabulary word, okay, and if you don't know the pronunciation, go and look for that. Okay, I don't know. Next is the vocabulary. Check the vocabulary. It demonstrates broad command of vocabulary, notes, and using precise words for the situation. That means use the vocabulary that you are supposed to be using. Okay, that's what I'm telling you. Even though Joanna, you are telling me if you can use your own ideas, it's okay. You can use your own ideas, right? Not exactly what the book is presenting, but you have to use the vocabularies that is over there, and you have to use also the grammar structures that are presented there, because that's the way you are going to know, or you are going to acquire that knowledge. Okay, the more that you use it, the better it gets in your brain, in your mind, right? And you make it yours, right? That's why you have to push yourself to use the new vocabulary, okay, and to use the grammar structures that are presented there. Okay, that's
right.
Okay, and finally we got the length of presentation. Okay, the length of presentation is 10 minutes. Okay, you get superior. Okay, you get less than 10 minutes, probably 9 minutes. Then you have good. Okay, you got 8 minutes, 7 minutes. You got fair. You got 6 minutes. You have a weak score there. Okay, all right. So try to go 10 minutes or a little bit more, but not too much, like a couple of seconds more, and that's it, right? Don't go too much either, because that's not good too. You have to try to deliver your message in that time. Okay, that's the goal for this activity, is also that you are able to express what you want to express in that time. That's it. Okay, all right. Now, do you have any questions about this? Somebody has any question about it?
I don't have, teacher.
Okay.
I don't have any.
Okay, very good. Now, let's move on and let's talk about the grammar evaluation. I don't know. Did you check the exercise that I put over there? I tried to
Yeah.
I tried to get some different exercises for each different content. Remember, there are 16 contents that
Yeah.
that you are supposed to manage, okay? And probably some of the contents mix, but there are some characteristics for each. That's why it was very important for you to do this review. Okay, now, did you do the exercises?
Not all, but many of them.
You did some of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's check them and let's see if you have any question about that. Okay. Okay, let's see. Let me check. Let's check the first exercise that is over there. You were supposed to complete this with simple present and present progressive, present continuous, right? Depending
Yeah.
on the structures. So the first one is, hi Paulo, what are you doing? What about the next? Oh, what is the correct?
I'm waiting for the
Waiting
class.
for class to beginning.
I waiting for the class to begin. Very good. How are you? You? The next?
Sim.
Sim.
Seem. That's correct. No present continuous over there, right? You seem a little down.
No.
I'm just tired. I
Working on
I'm
evenings.
working.
I work evenings this semester. I'm working.
Working. I'm working.
Working.
I'm working.
I
That's
I
correct.
am working.
That's correct. That's correct. What about the other one? Yes, she.
She's talking to one of my classmates.
The present continuous too.
Mm-hmm.
That's correct. She's talking to one of my classmates. And then says, what's wrong? He?
Doesn't look.
Hence. Since.
He doesn't look,
He's not looking.
or he's not looking.
He's not looking.
Doesn't look.
He doesn't look at her, or he's not looking. In that case, the correct word is, or the correct structure to use is looking. He's not looking at her because that situation is happening in this moment. So the best choice is the present continuous. What about the other one? He
Since.
seems uncomfortable. Correct. And finally, that
Doesn't mean.
doesn't mean anything. That's correct. It is
Anything.
simple present. Very good. Now, what about this? In this, there are some, new vocabulary words.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how did you complete that?
Yes.
I don't know. Somebody did that?
Yes.
Okay.
I did it.
Let me see. In this case, you are supposed to use the simple past, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Joanna, did you do that?
Yes, I tried.
Okay. Go ahead, tell me.
Okay. She did not know I saw.
So, continue.
I saw. He ate an eagle worm in halves and by the fellow raw. How do you pronounce this last word? Fellow.
In number 2.
4.
Number 4. And fellow row.
Row, okay. And bite, the fellow row.
Number 4, you saying is
B-I-T.
Okay. In that case, there is a problem. Can you repeat the number 2, please?
He ate.
He didn't know he ate.
He didn't know I saw.
He didn't know.
I saw.
He didn't know I saw. That would be number 2, right?
Yes.
And number 3?
Okay. He bite the fellow row.
He beat.
Beat.
Yeah,
okay.
The past tense
B-I-T.
Yeah, the past tense of bite is beat. He beat an ongoing word in helps. And number 4?
Number 4. And ate the fellow raw.
And ate the fellow raw. And next?
And then he drank dew.
And then he drank a dew.
Yeah, that means like a drop or something like that.
Dew.
Yeah.
Yeah, a dew is like the morning rain.
Okay, like the stripe.
Yeah, when it's very cold, right, and you can see some very soft rain in the morning, that would be dew.
Okay.
Then continue.
So the last one, and then hopped sideways to the wall.
That's correct. And then hopped sideways to the wall. Okay. Very good. Nice.
Thank you.
All right. Now let's continue. In the next exercise, did you do that exercise, Sandra?
Yes.
The questions.
Yes. But I know remember. I don't remember the page.
But in this case, I don't know if you have this in the book, but the one that you have there in the presentation, do you have it? Have you done it? Well, it's not. They are not questions. It's a mix of past continuous and past progressive.
Okay.
Like a combination of that. Do you have it?
No.
Okay, don't worry. What about you, Vilma?
Or the exercise.
The we,
Part?
right now we are in the combination of the use of past progressive with simple past.
Number 2.
I guess it's number 3.
3.
Yes.
Yeah.
The exercise
It's
number
3 Okay, the number 2, the wind behind to blow.
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead. Tell me, please.
Okay. Okay, the answer time when the to blow, the electricity went out.
When the wind.
When the wind began to blow,
That's correct. When the wind began to blow, the electricity went
the
out.
electricity went out.
What about number 3, Vilma?
With how he listened to car radio. The answer, while he was driving home, he was listening to his car radio.
That's correct. Number 4.
Number 4, he pulled over to the side of the road.
He pulled
over to the side of the road when he couldn't see anything.
That's correct. Very good. Number 5.
Number 5, while he was listening to the news, he heard about the burglary.
That's correct. Very good. And finally?
When it stopped snowing, Mr. Lee went to the police station.
That's correct. When it stopped snowing, Mr. Ligo went to the police station. That's correct. Very good. Okay. Next exercise. The next exercise, it is about the use of used to. In this case, you were supposed to complete those sentences with used to. I don't know. Let me see. Sandra, did you do that? Or Laura?
I'm here.
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Let me check. Sandra, you did that. It is the one from used to.
Yes. Number 2 is used to wear. And number 3.
Hold on. One second.
Number 2.
We used to
Where?
wear exercise clothes. Okay, very good. Next.
Yes. Used to dry.
That's
her
correct.
friend.
That's correct. Next.
And used to be her.
Number 5.
And used to play.
Number 6.
And used to visit.
That's correct. And finally,
And used to love.
that's correct. Okay. Now, there is something that I didn't put over here, and it was the use of would, as in it is used in the past. Now, you have to be very careful when you can use would to refer to the past. There are some structures that you can use where you can refer to the past, but there are some others that you cannot use. Okay. Now, can you tell me if there is a structure here that you can use that you cannot use would? Because, for example, I can tell you in the number 2, you can say we will wear exercise clothes everywhere. I can say that we will wear, and I can say we used to wear, and there is no difference there because I'm referring to the past and I'm referring to a past habit I had. Okay, and that's okay. Now, what about the rest? Can I use would in the rest? Can you say, for example, she will drive her friends to school? Can you say that?
I don't think so.
Look, you have to be careful. Remember that you can use would in past tense, and you can use it as you are using used to refer to the past. But there are some exceptions that you cannot use it. Okay, if you are talking about past habits, you can use it. Okay, so I can say that there is no problem. I can say she used to drive her friends to school every day. It's a past habit, and I can say she would drive her friends to school every day, and they mean the same. There is no problem there. There is only one structure in all of these sentences. There is only one structure I cannot use with would. What do you think it is?
Teacher. Excuse me. Question.
Tell me.
And used to with could is the same?
The same. It's the same. But there are some exceptions where you cannot use used to. That's what I want you.
For example.
This is that I want you to tell me. There. Let me check. He used to be her boyfriend. He would be so there are two sentences. I'm sorry. There are two sentences that you can where you cannot use would in the past. What are the two sentences?
The one that you already say it.
Which
the
one?
Number 4.
You caught me there, huh? Okay, that's the one. Yes, I cannot. That's correct. I cannot use would there. Now, can you see the difference between that and the other ones? Because when I say, hey, he used to be her boyfriend before she met friend, and he would be her boyfriend before she met friend. I cannot say that. I cannot say he will be her boyfriend. It's impossible. I cannot use it. But I can say she would visit her friends to school every day. What is the other one?
So maybe the number 7?
Number 7. What is the number
Love.
7?
You used to.
You used to love?
That's correct. I cannot say you used to. You would love the water.
Okay, but honestly speaking, I'm only guessing because I don't really know what happened with this. Because for me, all these sentences are something that people used to do, but don't do it anymore.
No, but there are some that were routines, and there are some things that are not like. Look at look at what they have in common. Look what number 4 and what number 7 have in common.
Okay, the rest are action verbs.
That's correct.
Okay.
And then the other ones, what are they? Probably that number 7 is a feeling, and number 5
Yeah.
in number 4 is something that it's something that it was like a like he was like that, right? It's not an action. That's something that you have to keep in mind. There is another verb that you cannot use with would, and for example, it is leave.
Leave.
I cannot go with I would leave with my parents in the past.
Can I use it with feel?
Huh?
Can I use will with the verb feel? I feel like, yeah?
Tell me an example.
Like, I used to feel homesick, for example.
I will feel homesick.
Can I use it in that way?
It depends, because if you're saying, for example, oh, I will feel homesick every single day when I was at home. In that case, you can use it. So yeah, you have to be very careful in that. And I recommend that you watch the grammar, because in the grammar book there is a specific in the grammar book when in that content about the used to and the would, they specifically say where you can use used to and would alternatively. I mean, that means that you can use both ways, but there are some others where you cannot use it. Okay, and that's it is when you analyze them and you see all the different exercises, you are able to point the differences between some. Okay, but I recommend that you go and watch that grammar part. Okay, now let's move on. Let's talk about the other one. Laura, do you have that?
Yes.
Okay, tell me, what are the answers? This is about future forms, right? These are future forms.
Jason and Ariel.
Yes, that one.
The exercise Jason and Ariel.
Yes, that's the one. Number 2, what is the answer?
The answer is I don't know. I hate driving in the rain.
In number 2, right? Which one did you say? Sorry.
Oh no, I hate driving in the rain. Only one.
Wait, hold on. Okay, yeah.
But because
you have two options. In number 2, you have we'll take or we are going to take the train instead.
Yes.
What is the correct option?
In this case, only one option. I hate driving in the rain. And it's a long drive to the conference.
No, but in that case, in those cases, there are no options. Look at the number 2.
It's in Jason part.
In Jason part.
Jason part, sorry.
Right, I have an idea. Well, we are going to take a train instead.
You missing you are thinking that you have to use going to.
Yeah, I think.
Anybody else?
Well, I choose will take
Why?
because it's like how do you say? You have two options.
Yes.
So I choose will take because it's an option. It's not already about it, maybe.
Look, the key structure here is this. I mean, two options are okay, but there is one. Look, there is one that is more acceptable, and the more acceptable option is will take. The use of will, simple future, no going to. Why? Because it is a sudden decision. When you say, hey, wait, I have an idea, and this means that that's something that comes to your mind quickly, and that's it, okay? And it's a sudden decision, and when it's a sudden decision, you use will. So you have to be very careful with that too. If it is a sudden decision, you can use will, okay? So in this case, will is the correct option. What about the number 3, Laura? We leave or leaves at 7?
We leave.
There is a train that will leave at 7. There is a train that leaves at 7.
Yeah, that's the one.
Leaves at 7.
Well, in this case, the best option is leaves. Simple present. Why simple present? Because in this case, this is something that is real. It's something that it's how can I say this? It is something. It is real information. You cannot change that. There is no possibility to change that. That train will leave at 7. So that trains when you don't have options over that, the best way to go is with simple present, and you can use the simple present as a future tense in this case, okay? So the best option here is leaves. Remember, when you cannot do anything because it's something that is already fixed there, right, you have to use the simple present, okay? It doesn't depend on you. It's over there. It is something that is going to happen whether you want it or not. Okay, number 4. Laura, number 4. I'll make or I'm making?
I'm making.
ING forms. Look at the context because it says, what about lunch? Oh, I know. The best option is I'll make. I'll make. Yeah, it is a sudden decision too. It is something that. Yeah, it is the same. Oh, what about lunch? Oh, I know. I'll make some sandwiches for us. Okay, sudden decision. Number 5. What are we doing, or what are we going to do all these hours?
What are we going to do?
What are we going to do all those hours? Correct. What are we going to do all those hours? That's the best option. Number 6. Don't worry. We'll think, or we're thinking of something.
We are thinking of something.
Remember that it's future tense.
We'll think.
We'll think. We'll think. Don't worry, we'll think of something. That's the best option. Number 7. You know, we have to get up really early. I think
I'm going home.
well, in this case, there is another structure that you have to take into consideration. The verb think. When you are not sure, you just think. And in that way, the best option is will. Because that's why he says, hey, you know, we have to get up really early. So I think I'll go home now. Think, when you use the verb think, the best option is to go with simple present. Okay. And finally,
I'm seeing you.
I'm seeing you, or I'll see you tomorrow.
I'm seeing you.
See, ing form.
Because it's good.
Well, Laura, in this case, this is a fixed expression. And the fixed expression is, I will see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night. That's the best way to go with I'll. Okay. Now let's see if we have time for the other one.
No, we don't.
Okay. Let me check. I want to know. Let me check. Yeah. Probably. There is something that I want to tell you. Yeah, it is. Okay, let's finish with this. I don't know if you did the questions with the WH words.
No, I have problems with that.
That's the thing, because that's something I knew that you were going to have some problem with this. These are the ones that give you a little headache. Okay.
Yeah.
These are not that easy. Now, okay. Let's do it. Okay, let's finish with this. This. Okay. So look at the example. In the example says card begins at 9. Okay, and then the answer goes with what?
When does
chord begin? Okay. Now in number 2, something horrible happened. What is that WH word that you're gonna use? Which one? What? That's correct. Now, how are you gonna make the question?
I wrote something like, what happened?
What happened? That's correct. That's the one. Something horrible happened. Yeah, you are making the question based on the word that is underlined. So what happened? Something horrible.
Yeah.
Okay, what about the number 3? 5 witnesses testified. What is the WH that you're gonna use?
I use how many?
Many. How do you make the complete? The complete question.
how many people see it or see him?
How many?
People see him.
Well, that sentence says 5 witnesses testified. So, how many?
How many witnesses?
How many?
Testify.
That's it. How many witnesses?
Recognize. Oh, yeah.
How many witnesses
Okay.
testified? And it has to go like that. How many witnesses testified? Okay, with past tense. Because you're using the auxiliary did there. Okay, now what about the number 4?
Got it. Uh, who recognized Harry Adams?
Who?
Recognize it? Adams?
What
Well,
witness?
in this case, it is necessary to use the auxiliary did.
Ah, who
Yes.
did?
Ah,
Mm,
so
mm,
Who did?
did
Who? This was recognized.
Who did the witness indicate? Indicated.
no? Use the verb that is over there. Recognize.
Nice.
Who did recognize?
Who did?
Oh, this.
Who did the witness recognize?
That's it. Who did the witness recognize? In this case, recognize must be in the original form. Okay, you don't have to change it, or you don't have to put it with in past tense, because you are using the auxiliary did. Okay, so you say, who did the witness recognize? Or you can say whom, W-H-O-M. Whom did the witness recognize? Mhm. What about the other one? The witness recognized Harry Adams. That's different.
How many?
Who did Harry Adams recognize?
Well, in this case, it's not necessary to use did.
Who Harry Adams recognized?
Who recognized Harry Adams?
Harry
Harry
Adams.
Adams.
Who recognized Harry Adams? And you use, and in that case, you use the verb in past tense, because you are not using the auxiliary. Who recognized Harry Adams? Look, this is a little complex exercise.
Yeah.
I understand. Okay. And if you have some exercise like this in the exam, I can give you a little explanation on Saturday. Number 6. The district attorney questioned the restaurant manager. Okay, I'm gonna help you. You are gonna use the auxiliary did. You have to.
Yeah.
Who did the stricter accurate question?
Who? Can you repeat?
Who did after my question?
Who did that district
Attorney.
accurate question?
That's correct. Who did the district attorney question with no ed? Who did
Question.
that?
I'm going from.
Who did the district attorney question? Can you see what that has in common with the number 4? They have something in common. The words are
The auxiliary.
the words that, yes, but look, the words that are underlined are after the principal verb. When the word that you are referring to is after the principal verb, look, then you are going to use the auxiliary did. In number 5, you are taking into consideration the subject. And if you are taking into consideration the subject, then you don't need auxiliary did. Like in number 5. In number 5 is the witness, and the witness is subject. Okay, recognize is the verb, and Harry Adams is the complement, right? So number 4 and number 6, they are, the word that is underlined is after the principal verb. That's why you have to use the auxiliary did. Now, in number 7, are you going to use the auxiliary? Yes or no?
No.
No. Okay, so how do you make the sentence?
The jury.
Who talks to the jury?
Who spoke to the
Who
jury?
spoke?
Who spoke to the jury? And that's it. Who spoke to the jury? And that's it. Now, be careful. Number 8 is completely different from all the rest of the sentences. From the 7 sentences, it is different. What is the difference?
What is the
Verb to be.
That's correct.
verb to be in the past?
That's correct.
Was.
Guilty. And if it is the verb to be, then you don't never use auxiliary did with the verb to be. You cannot use two principal verbs in the same sentence. So the verdict was guilty. What is the correct word?
What was the verdict?
What was the verdict?
Was the verdict?
What was the verdict? That's it. Okay. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. I hope it can help you a little bit, to give you a little guidance about this. Okay. And let's see. I hope you don't have some of these exercises, but if you have, I can give you a little help before. Okay, I can give some explanation about that if you don't have that clear already. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank
Okay. So because of the time, let's move on. I know that you want to go to bed. Me too. Okay. So reminders. The reminders are the exams are gonna be on Saturday. We are going to begin with the oral evaluation, so get ready for that. We're going to begin with that, and then the second part of the morning we're gonna have the grammar evaluation. Okay. All right. Do you have any other questions? Do you have something that you want to say before we go to bed? If you didn't finish this review, try to do it. It's gonna help you for you to study. Okay. Study. And if there's something that is not clear, go ahead, check the book, and try to get everything clear. And if you have if a question comes to your mind, please let me know. Okay, so I can help you. All right.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna stop here. Okay, see you on Saturday. Good luck. Get ready. Go and sleep tight. Sleep.
Thank you. You too.
Have sweet dreams. And take care.
After this, I don't think so.
Come on. Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you. Good
Bye
night,
bye.
everyone.
Thank you,
Bye.
teacher.
Bye,
Good
everybody.
night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye bye.